What is up, guys? It's Pedro here, and in today's video, we got the final injury report for Washington football team versus the Philadelphia Eagles Week 17 matchup. I'll give you guys my take on if I think Alex Smith, Antonio Gibson, and Terry McLaurin are going to play, and we'll also look at the Philadelphia Eagles injury report, which does not look too good for them. So if you guys are new, subscribe for Washington and NFL content. So let's get into it. Almost at 4,000 subscribers, guys, so make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Okay, so first we'll start off with our injury report and the status of Terry McLaurin, Antonio Gibson, and Alex Smith, and then after that we'll look at the Eagles injury report at the end of the video. So, Terry McLaurin, Antonio Gibson, Kevin Pierre-Louis, and Alex Smith are all questionable, but Rivera said Gibson and McLaurin worked with trainers, said he was encouraged by what he saw. Rivera also said he doesn't like having players that have lower leg injuries, especially, knee and foot injuries, to be practicing on the turf. So that is mostly why Gibson and McLaurin didn't practice today. Also, Rivera said they really wanted to give Gibson rest, so I think Gibson is going to play. They said earlier in this week he's going to have a big workload, so I would be very surprised if Antonio Gibson does not play this week, and really, I think he's going to be good to go. I just think they do not want to aggravate this injury at all, because turf toe is not... It's not a good injury at all. It's a very, it's a lingering injury. So now on to Terry McLaurin. What I think, my take for Terry McLaurin, a lot of people think he's not going to play. I think he might end up playing, but what I think is going to happen, I think he's going to be used mostly as a decoy. Might catch a couple passes, but mostly, to attract Darius Slay to get to his side so Cam Sims and others can get some better matchups. That's what I think. Obviously, McLaurin is not fully healthy, not near that, but I do think, he's been doing some individual work, which is encouraging, and, he might end up playing and be a decoy. And then Alex Smith, I'm very encouraged with Alex Smith. He's been limited. I think he was limited yesterday, and, Rivera always preaches this. He says, it's very important to see how the players react the next day after a big day at practice, and Alex Smith had one of his biggest day. Even though he was listed as limited, he actually did more than he really did in the last couple weeks, and he felt good enough to practice today, and by all accounts it looked good. I'll read what John Keim said. Rivera said Smith had a good day today. Fact that he practiced again is a good sign, but as Rivera will always say, it matters most how he feels the next day. Said Smith moved well, threw the ball well, so I do think Alex Smith is going to play in this game. He's probably not at 100%, which is not what we want, but I think if we lean on this run game, especially with a lot of the Eagles injuries that we will get into in a bit, I think that will be our advantage. Run the ball as much as possible and only throw the ball when needed so you don't have to put the burden on Alex Smith. And I think running the ball is very important, and it's good to do, especially for this team in particular. So, and Kevin Pierre-Louis is questionable. It would be big if he can play, but if not, Michael Kendricks will step in there, Khalid Hudson. But we do want Kevin Pierre-Louis because I think besides Holcomb, he's probably our best linebacker at probably to get these quarterbacks. So we want Kevin Pierre-Louis to play. And now on the Eagles, they have so many injuries. So one of their reporters, Dave Zangaro, sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, he said, last practice of the season, Fletcher Cox, Miles Sanders, Dallas Goedert, Derek Barnett, Jordan Mailata, and others, keyword others, weren't practicing. I'd expect the Eagles to sit all of them on Sunday. So if that happens, that is absolutely huge. Fletcher Cox, probably their best defensive player. They're winning 14-3 when he was in. Once he got out last week with his neck stinger, they ended up losing 34-17. Huge difference with him not out there. Derek Barnett, one of their best. He's probably their best edge rusher, either him or Josh Sweat. Jordan Mailata, their left tackle, pretty solid this year. He has a concussion. He's probably not going to play. Deshaun Jackson and others. Here's the Eagles injury report from yesterday. These are all the guys from Thursday that did not practice, and some of them were limited. Miles Sanders being out, that is also absolutely huge, because if he's not out there, he's a very, very good running back, one of the best in the league. Him not being out there would be absolutely huge for us. Dallas Goedert, a really good tight end for them. Zach Ertz isn't really fully back to his full self, and even when he even in the beginning of the season when he was healthy, he just wasn't producing. Dallas Goedert, though, has been pretty good this year, and he's probably not going to play. Fletcher Cox probably not going to play. Derek Barnett probably not going to play. And Deshaun Jackson, I also don't think he's going to play. The official rulings on these guys haven't come out yet. Those will come out later today. If I get them before the video, I'll put them in the comments down below. But they have so many injuries. There's no excuse to not win this game, guys. The amount of players, and Jalen Mills got put on the reserve list yesterday, and he's another guy in their secondary. He's not amazing, but he's solid, and they have had a lot of injuries in the secondary. So if you combine Jalen Mills, Fletcher Cox, Miles Sanders, Dallas Goedert, Derek Barnett, Jordan Mailata, and maybe even Deshaun Jackson and others, because he didn't even list all the guys, that is a lot of players injured. And sure, we do have our fair share of injuries, but I expect Alex Smith to play. I expect Antonio Gibson to play, and Terry McLaurin might even play. So we'll see with the injuries, and we'll see later today what the final injury report is for the Philadelphia Eagles. But it is looking good for Washington's chances on Sunday. And of course, I'd rather see Alex Smith than Taylor Heinicke. There's a lot of people that want to see Taylor Heinicke play, but I would still be comfortable with Heinicke playing if Alex Smith couldn't go, or if he got hurt in the game, just because of all these injuries on their defense and even offense too. I feel a lot more comfortable that I think we can still win this game, even if Taylor Heinicke does end up playing, because he knows the offense. That's the biggest thing. And then real quick at the end of the last thing of the video, Washington elevated Steven Montez for Sunday's game against Philly. And no, that does not mean Alex Smith isn't playing. It's just because, after Haskins got released, they've had 3 quarterbacks on the active roster all year. So Taylor Heinicke, Steven Montez, and Alex Smith are the 3 quarterbacks on the active roster right now. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please smash that like button, subscribe if you guys are new, and turn on those post notifications so you never miss a video. Peace. Happy New Year.